to Travel and Bang, baby.
This is Travel and Bang. I am Marky Bravo the Mulatto. Let's get into it, baby. Okay, this has been a wild week. I had a lot to do. Was in Orlando at a Scottish Rite convention. And then a day later, I had to fly to Utah for a family reunion. No, I don't have any Mormons in the family, but I do have family that lives out there. It's a beautiful scenery, beautiful, just beautiful nature. It's spread out, it's pushed out, a lot of open space. It reminds me of El Paso, Texas. I can see why the founder of the Mormon church chose that area of America. It is so beautiful. Check out the Bonneville Salt Flats. I think the reason why I'm telling you is not to brag. I'm telling you because, once again, Travel and Bang is about traveling, and I want to endorse that every man out there goes and sees the world. Don't just do what everyone else does and go to Miami, Los Angeles, Berlin, Paris. These are all great places, by the way. But you also want to go travel the path least traveled. That is the true hallmark of a bon vivant, okay? French for a lifestyle artist, or in Germany, we would call it a Lebenskünstler. You want to be a bon vivant, a Lebenskünstler. You want to drink some of the finest wines. You want to be intimate with some of the finest dimes, women, and you want to just be able to travel, soak it all in, have those experiences, and you learn so much. And you also realize people are just people, no matter what race, creed, ethnicity, religion, or color. That we're all, you realize that at the end. At the end, you put all that aside. We're all part of this one big human race. You know what I'm saying? Family. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to get into it. I have another email that was sent to me. And for all those who would also like to send situations, emails to me so I could professionally dissect them and tell you what to do, markybravo@gmail.com. That is markybravo@gmail.com. Let's get into it, motherfucker. Okay, so he writes, "Hello, Marky Bravo. I've been following your channel for a couple months, and I even purchased your book so I can enhance my dating skills. Thank you. Thank you. Razor Blade Romance, biatch. I picked her up. We went out on a date and had a great time. We ended up back at my place, and we fooled around a bit, but we didn't hook up." That is code word hook up for fuck, okay? For those who don't know. Okay, most women do not get sexually intimate with a man, okay, until the second or third time. Okay, and I even teach that if you haven't been sexually intimate with a woman by the third time, that worst case scenario, there should be a lot of French kissing, a lot of sexual petting of the genital areas, you know what I mean? And maybe you can, you know what I mean, write it off as, okay, maybe she just wants to go slower, you know what I mean? But by the third, gots to be boom, boom, bada bing, shebang, bang, okay? I drove her back to her house, and later when I left, she texted me and said she had an awesome time. Okay, the following week, she initiated lots of text messaging with me and started to invite me over her place almost every other day. Her idea, so for now, it's a good idea. You know what I mean? But I'll give my opinion in a bit. She started requesting that I sleep over her place every night, but I didn't want to play myself out. So I made excuses and only slept over every other night. Since our dating is so fresh and new, I was trying to do everything not to become too familiar too quick, which can kill attraction. Now, I know other dating coaches will not agree with this, but he is absolutely doing what I teach in the book. Don't kill the mystery by being around a woman that you're just getting to know an intimate tip, by being around her all the fucking time. You understand? It's like showing the person the end to the movie and they didn't get to see the beginning or the middle or the climax of the film. Don't do it. He did the right thing. He put a space between those days. I would have only went there once every 2 days if it was hot and heated, you know, love making going on and stuff like that. All right. You know, I have a friend real quick. He's a international business dude, and he does the same thing. You know what I mean? He does that with his wife. He goes on his business trips and he uses that distance while he's gone for a week or a couple of days to create anticipation. So the woman misses him again. And, you know, she's always like, oh, didn't you miss me? And he's like always like poking fun, you know, like, not really. What? Why do you miss me? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? So you see the theatrics, the drama that's created. It's like a novella. It's good. It's good for the relationship. Okay. When he says, when I did spend the night, I applied the 3 H's: hang out, have fun, and hook up. I made sure to not push anything to tell her I want a relationship and wanted to keep things with me and her as casual as possible. You know, the reality is this, okay? All serious relationships begin as all long-lasting, passionate relationships start out as casual, intimate encounters first. This is nuts. I've always said this is nuts when you read dating app profiles from women who say they're not here for a hookup. Well, what do they want? They want you to be their boyfriend the first time you sleep with them? This is not how real relationships work. This sounds like an arranged type of weird version of arranged marriage. Do not fall for this. We all hook up. That's how it is until all the other candidates, the other women fade to the back. Candidates for her, other dudes with her, fade to the shadows, and then you're seeing her every other weekend too. You just develop into boyfriend and girlfriend. You cannot negotiate this like purchasing something at a store. I mean, you can, but that's usually not how long-lasting relationships evolve. Okay, he says, during the 3rd week of dating, we went back to her house and she's really been opening up to me a lot about traumatic things that has happened to her in the past, like abusive relationships. She was molested as a child and raped during her teens, and the list goes on and on and on. That's good. That means she views you as her rock. You know what I mean? Her confidant, a mountain, and has a high level of trust and respect for you, man. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people say, oh, red flags like a communist Chinese parade. Maybe, but that's good that she's opening up and letting you know these things have happened. So this could be, you know what I mean, a prelude, you know, to what some toxic stuff that might come, and you take an exit. If it's too much for you to handle, then you take an exit. It's good that when a woman opens up like that. And as I assured her that none of this stuff she told me bothered me, that's good too. As soon as you get judgmental, her legs go, whoo, you know what I mean? And then everything goes sideways, and you know, don't give your judge. It's not for you to judge. Just listen. You know what I mean? Be the confidant. You know what I mean? That's a good place to be. So if she is seeing other guys, they're usually probably not on that level you are, and that's a good thing. So after another date, we as usual went back to her place, and she told me she really likes me a lot and she really enjoys spending time with me. Okay, that's only indicative to that moment. I hope every man, I'm going to remind everybody, when a woman says, I love you, or she says, I hate you. Yeah, okay, those feelings are just in the moment. You know what I mean? If she says she loves you now, it doesn't mean she's loving you tomorrow. If she says she hates you during an argument, I wouldn't stress out about it, because 24 hours later, she doesn't hate you anymore. That's usually how the emotional mechanics of most women are, okay? Okay, I kept riding the wave and going to her place and hooking up with her. She eventually introduced me to her daughter and told me that she only does that when she's convinced it's with someone that will be with her lifelong term. Lifelong term. I guess that means like a life partner. Yeah, that's true. I think when the woman brings you around her kid or kids, that definitely means she wants you probably to be a fiance or an indefinite life partner, husband. You know, I just don't see women doing that, bringing men around their kids when it's just a fling thing, when they don't see it lasting very long. You know what I mean? The 5th week of dating, after Thursday night at a cocktail bistro outing, she once again requested that I spend the night. It was the best night by far. She started coming so hard that I never seen a woman get off like that before. And We seem to bond closer. Splash, waterfalls. She comes like a waterfall, as they say in Paris. The next day I left her place and all seemed well. But the whole next day passed and I didn't receive any text messages or phone calls during Friday, which seemed very odd and out of character, but I didn't read into it. Okay, so usually when the kitty cat stops purring, men freak the fuck out. An old saying, women are like cats, they come and they go as they please. When the cat leaves, the worst thing you can do is chase a cat. It'll run from you. It might run away and never come back home. That type of analogy, you know what I mean? So the main thing is to stay calm, keep your composure. He says, I went out of town on an out-of-town business trip, so I called on Saturday as it rolled around, and I called to see what's up with her. I wouldn't have done that. When the woman leans back, you lean back. You make a song. When she leans back, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did that. That's usually a shit test. The woman wants to calibrate, wants to see, she's thinking, is he into me more than I'm into him? Because if so, I don't know if I want that. You understand what kind of shit test this could turn out to be? I wrote about this, about falling back. That's what I just mentioned in my book, Falling Back. It's not a sign of weakness. It's actually to show, in my book I write about Razor Blade Romance, it's actually to show her, like, look, you know, if you don't want to talk, then we don't have to talk. You know what I mean? Especially, you gotta fall back when she falls back, okay? I would have waited a whole week before contacting her. Then I would have sent her a text or a voice note and made a joke out of it and said, hey, I'm just checking to see if you didn't get abducted by aliens. What's going on, love? You know what I mean? He said the conversation went about an hour long. This is not good. Phone is for setting dates. Using the phone for therapy is the worst thing you can do. Oh God, this never ends well, okay? As the conversation came to an end, she ended up telling me that because of her still healing from her past trauma, that she thinks she's not ready for a relationship yet. Okay, that she's using real life situations as an excuse to stop seeing you. I've had women do this several times in my lifetime, and it's usually something like, oh, my grandmother died, I'm heartbroken, I don't want a relationship right now, and this and that and this and that, and it's usually never has anything to do with what they say why they want to stop seeing you. It's an excuse to get out of seeing you. That's just unfortunately how they do it. My reply was, whatever she chooses, that I'm okay with it either way, and that I just want her to be happy. And then I asked her if she needed space. Wouldn't have asked her if she needed space. She evidently already communicated she wants space. She said yes, but she said she wants to remain friends. No. I replied to her friend zoning attempt and said, romance or I walk. You know what I mean? And that's the way you do it. You never let the friend zone proceed, and then now the woman gets all the benefits of a relationship, hanging out, you know what I mean, laughing, giggling, entertainment, validation, but then she doesn't even have to have sex with you. This is crazy. You know what I mean? So he did the right thing. They call this the takeaway in the pickup artist community, by the way. Never get wrapped up in a woman's emotions, and the main thing is never get wrapped up in the emotions and let her contact you. This right, I bring it up again because this reaching out to her really turns out, I think, to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, okay? My last response was that when she feels that she has healed from her past trauma, that she should call me. That's good. See, that's what they call the takeaway. Get to me, get back to me if you change your mind. Okay? It's not been one whole week and I haven't heard from her, and I don't plan on reaching out. Yes, that's the way you do it. Even so, most men are full of shit. They say that to their boys, right? They say that to other men. Oh, I'm calling her. And then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? They do it anyway. My question is, how can things go sideways so fast in such a short time? I don't know for 100% fact that she didn't hook up back with her ex-husband and that she's not talking to any other guys. So it couldn't have been that. Okay, so let me just wrap this up. First of all, you don't know if she's hooked back up with her ex-husband or if she's seeing another dude. You know what I mean? You don't know that, especially in the age of, you pull this out, your phone, and start chit-chatting with, she can start chit-chatting with a large menu of men out there. So you don't know that. That's just an assumption. You're not psychic. How things can go sideways so fast is you go into a fast. That's sleeping every night over at her place. Even don't get laid where you get paid. With that meaning, that's dangerous to begin with. He found her at the job. He's fishing off of the company pier, so to say. And then, you know what I mean? It's too much too fast. I think from her trauma and all these other things, she's a single mother. And then feeling like things are getting too serious too fast, because women are like that. They want something serious, monogamous relationship. But see, once it doesn't get to develop and evolve slowly, boom, all of a sudden this is going too fast. Ooh, I don't want this guy. She's thinking, I don't want this guy all up under me. You know what I mean? And the best way to come back from that, to have her come back, is to do what I said. You let the woman know that, hey, go through what you have to go through, no hard feelings, call me if you ever change your mind. And then you got to leave it. You don't want to fall into the illusion of action. Oh, I gotta text her. I gotta tell her how much I like her. This is bullshit advice women usually give men. Just call her up and tell her how much you want her and miss her and love her. No. This works in romantic comedy movies. This works in a ulterior, in another universe, alternative universe. But this is not how human behavior functions on planet Earth with humans, with women. Okay? So that's the thing. I bet, I want to tell him, if he does not reach out to her and he sees her at work and he just says, hey, what's up, babe? And he keeps it cordial, casual, but doesn't get into long discussions with her, just says, hey, smiles, I guarantee they always come back. A woman like that, I want to wrap it up, she will come back. She will holler back. But you got to remain strong, and you can't obsess. You can't turn into a thirsty soy boy. You know what I mean? That has been Travel and Bang. Till the next time, people. Ciao.